I feel that our organization really represents the ideal of what the first original Klan stood for, which was not terrorism, it was not anti-black, it was not anti-other races, it was standing against federal tyranny. And today I feel that we have a real solid message to the American people, because people today recognize that there's tyranny coming out of Washington, D.C. once again, and I feel that we have a message that resonates very well with the middle class people. Really, people across all economic spectrums in this country will find a love and return to the roots of white Christian identity, and hopefully they'll stand up and fight against white genocide.
The need is obvious. In 1965, this country changed our immigration laws. We became flooded with aliens coming from Asia, coming from South America. The racial complexion of America has changed. The United States has changed. We were a country that's 92% white. Now we're going to be less than 42% white by the year, or excuse me, less than 50% white by the year 2042. So I think there's a real concern about what's going to happen. Now I know some people don't have a concern, and that's okay. If that's the way they feel, okay, that's the way they feel. But it doesn't make us haters because we do care. It doesn't make that mean that we hate people just because we do care what kind of future our children are going to have. And so we have a concern about white genocide and what's going to happen to our people.
You're going to see a drastic change, and there's an old saying, and it might sound hateful to some people, but it's an old saying back in the 60s, if you think you had trouble with minorities now, just wait till they're the majority. I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and people need to reawaken to their roots and love their people and understand that there's nothing wrong with preserving their heritage, because everybody else gets to do it. And I'm not against non-whites, and I don't hate them. They've got China, they've got Africa, they've got these other countries. That's great. Let them have them. We want our own little piece of pie. We want our own little slice of heaven. And there's nothing wrong with standing up for a minority group of people, white people. We're the minority of the world, and we're getting ready to be a whole lot smaller. As Christians, we also know, number one, charity begins at home. Number two, you have to take care of your family first, and then that love extends outward. We believe that black people, they should look after their family first, in their community, in their nations, and the same with other racial groups. And we believe that our people should first look after our own family. We have an inheritance. We don't think it's right to give the inheritance that is due our children away to other people. Just like they would not feel that it's right to give something that they've passed on to their children, how would they like if someone came and took it away from them? I mean, we feel we have a legacy to pass on to our people, and other races should be afforded that same right. But we believe that this country was created and founded and historically documented to be a white Christian nation for the posterity of those founding fathers and mothers. And what we have is an inundation of people who have come to this country who do not share our values, morals, or faith.
We believe that blacks, by their nature, probably prefer being around other blacks because they can relate to them. There's always going to be some that's going to want to go and hang out with the white group. But by a whole, people prefer being around their own kind, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's real, it's natural. What we have today is artificial, and it's not real.
It's just plain old social engineering. That's what it is.